Hello everyone, welcome to my new podcast called Me Time. My name is Edil Ortega, and this is a podcast where I talk to you guys while I drive to work. And I decided to call it Me Time because it's the only time that I feel I have sometimes as my time, is when I drive to work by myself in the car and I have my thoughts and music, and that's it. That's all. So now I'm going to be sharing those thoughts with you guys on this podcast called Me Time. So welcome. Hopefully you stay and listen to me rant on stuff, talk about stuff, my opinions, my thoughts, whether it's movies, TV shows, controversial news, anything I can think of while I'm driving to work is what I'm going to be talking about. And today, what's on my mind is how much I did not like the Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker. I got to see it, and I did not like it. I am a huge Star Wars fan, or I should say was a huge Star Wars fan. But I do not like what Disney is doing. Come on, Disney. What's going on? You're supposed to be like the best storytellers ever. I mean, I love what you guys did with Marvel. Why can't you do the same thing with Star Wars? Oh, wait, it's Kathleen Kennedy who decided not to have an overarching plan or storyline for all these directors. Kevin Feige truly produced stuff as opposed to Kathleen Kennedy. Anyway, alright. Let's start with the movie. The movies, all three movies as a trilogy, these new 3 movies as a trilogy make no sense when you put them all together. To me, they make no sense. Because if you're gonna introduce Palpatine as the last villain, which I don't believe was the plan. I don't care what JJ says. I don't believe Palpatine was the last enemy in this series. I think Rian Johnson had something to do with that by killing Snoke. Maybe Palpatine was going to be hinted at still being alive at the end of the trilogy, just so that, wait, Palpatine's still alive? You know? And Rian Johnson just advanced all of that with his last movie, The Last Jedi, because this movie, The Rise of Skywalker, literally feels like he's retconning. J.J. Abrams seems to be retconning or fixing damage control from The Last Jedi movie. And I feel like Kathleen Kennedy, who is the producer, the overall producer for Lucasfilm, and produces all these new Star Wars movies, should have done a better job. Because these movies, like I mentioned, do not make sense. If you're going to have Palpatine as your main enemy at the end, you should have introduced him, hinted at him being the bad guy from the very beginning. Why? Because, spoiler alert, again, I'm going to talk about this movie now as if you watched the movie with me, as if you were right there in the theater watching it with me. It's been 3 weeks now since the movie came out, maybe 2, I don't know. So if you haven't seen it, come back in like 2 minutes, or fast forward this podcast 2-3 minutes, because the next 2-3 minutes are still me ranting about this last Rise of Skywalker movie. So, Rise of Skywalker. Gee, I'm taking off my hat for this. I'm hot. I'm getting heated. Rise of Skywalker. Palpatine. What are you doing sending out a message that you're alive? Right from the very beginning, I hated that part. Because throughout the previous 2 movies, no hint about Palpatine. Nothing. Palpatine is still dead. And listen, if Palpatine wanted Rey that badly, like he showed in this movie, because spoiler alert again, Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter. Okay? He wanted her to ascend to the Sith throne, right? That's why he wanted her. He needed her. Snoke had her in the last movie, right? And in this movie, it's revealed that Snoke was just a creation of Palpatine. And Palpatine mentions it like he was just some puppet that he was using. And if that's the case, if Snoke was Palpatine's puppet in the last movie, The Last Jedi, in the Rian Johnson movie, The Last Jedi, guess what? Palpatine had Rey, or I should say, Snoke had Rey in the last movie. And he was almost gonna kill her. He wanted Kylo Ren to kill Rey. How does Palpatine have any control at this point? You know? Like, how can you say you had control of Snoke like you did in this last movie? He was about to kill the one thing you want, Rey. So yeah, anyway. They never explain how Palpatine survives in this movie. I mean, if you're as strong as being able to survive the Death Star blowing up, a small moon, I'm sorry, but you don't need an empire. You don't need the final order to take over the universe. Okay? You just don't. You don't need that much. You don't need a army, because guess what? You're that powerful. You know, you can survive an exploding moon, in which was what the Death Star was. So again, Palpatine seems to be OP, but in this movie, then he's just a zombie. He's literally hooked up to some machine, his eyes burnt out, his fingers all crooked. Like, come on. You're so strong that you can survive a small moon blowing up in the Death Star, and yet you can't fix your fingers or your eyes. But then at the end of see, this is why stuff doesn't make sense to me. At the end of the movie, Palpatine regenerates by sucking out the life force of Rey and Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo at that point. Yes, Ben turns good during the movie. Spoiler alert again. So all of a sudden he can regenerate for 30 years. 30 plus years. He's been a zombie-like creature that couldn't regenerate, and all of a sudden he finds out he could suck the life out of Rey and Ben, and he regenerates, and I'm back! Palpatine's back! Oh my gosh, no. This makes no sense to me. I'm sorry. Between the conveniences of this movie and Palpatine, the way they brought him back, I just didn't like this movie. I'm sorry. We should move on from this topic because I'm just getting upset. I'm at work. I'm gonna sit in the car here because I don't want this podcast just to be me ranting on Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. But that's kind of what this podcast is gonna be. Just me talking about these things that bother me, maybe, or maybe just something that inspired me. Right? I mean, I'm inspired that I am recording with my wife YouTube videos. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. My name is Edil Ortega on this YouTube channel. No. I have a YouTube channel. It's my name, Edil Ortega. And me and my wife just started recording some videos on that my goodness, I can't talk right now. Me and my wife started making videos we made a video on YouTube, which was really just a practice video. We were just practicing how to change for 2020. We came up with this topic and we were just going to practice doing the video, but it actually turned out to be very good. So we decided to post it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and now we're going to be recording more videos together, but now we're going to do research, and so that we don't look like we're all over the place. Because that video is like, whoa, we came up with 5 at the end, we came up with 5 points, which is self-reflection, prioritize, planning, discipline, and balance. Those were all topics or points that we hit in this video on how to change for 2020, because everybody wants to change. It's a New Year's. Happy New Year's, by the way. It's a new year, 2020, and people want to change. People have New Year's resolutions that they want to accomplish, and part of accomplishing those resolutions is looking at yourself, looking at the past, seeing what you did accomplish, what you didn't accomplish, why you didn't accomplish those things, why you did accomplish, why you did what you accomplished. And being able to self-reflect is probably the most important thing in accomplishing any goals or making any change that you want in your life. Me and the wife are going to be making another video diving deeper into self-reflection, because that is probably the most important topic of any change, right? Of any change, and of any personal change that you want to make. You want to be able to self-reflect. And then you want to prioritize those changes. Then you want to plan for those changes. Then you want to stick to the plan. So you need discipline. And then you want to be balanced, because guess what? It's not all about you sometimes. You have a family. You have friends. You have work. So you have to be able to balance everything out. So, yeah. Stay tuned. Again, my YouTube channel, Edil Ortega. It's just my name. Look it up. I have a spicy life series in there too, where I tried different hot sauce. Last year I started trying different hot sauces, and it's gotten really, really spicy towards the end. I tried this ghost pepper smash, where they put like 30 ghost peppers in a bottle. My gosh, that was not fun at all. We tried that for Thanksgiving. For this year, I'm going to kick off the Spicy Life series with, oh my gosh, I hate to try this one. I put it off last year, and now it's going to be the first sauce I try this year, because this year it's going to be spicy. Yeah, the Last Dab from Hot Ones. That's the first sauce we're trying this year. And then I'll have to order some more, because that's the last one I have that's unopened. I'll have to get that video out to you guys soon. Don't know exactly when I'm going to be trying it. Maybe this weekend. Maybe next weekend. I don't know. Like I said, I'm procrastinating on making that next Spicy Life video, because I know I'm going to be trying the Last Dab, which is one of the hottest hot sauces out there, with over 2 million Scovilles, according to the Hot Ones show. So, yeah, YouTube channel. That's what's going on with my YouTube channel. I'm also gonna be... What else do I want to do with my YouTube channel? Oh, I'm gonna be posting this podcast on my YouTube channel, so you can listen to it there. You can subscribe, like, comment there. I don't know how Anchor does it, so I'm just discovering Anchor now. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. So yeah, what else? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to conclude this podcast, though, because like I said, I am at work. This podcast is, I guess, only 14 minutes long. You know why it's only 14 minutes long and I have a 40-minute drive to work? Because I was messing up. I was messing up recording this podcast. So it took me about 30 minutes just to get all my thoughts together and come up with this 15 minutes of podcast for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you stay tuned next time. I'm not exactly sure how long each episode is going to be, because I don't know exactly how long I'm going to be talking on topics. Again, my Star Wars rant, I apologize for that. I don't even want to continue talking about that. I do have to watch the movie one more time. Maybe I'll change my mind. I've only seen it once. But Rise of Skywalker is a definite thumbs down for me right now. So yeah, thanks for listening. And comment, send me voice messages or comment, like the video, whatever you do on Anchor, on Spotify, wherever this podcast is distributed. Do it, like it, and let me hear from you. I want to know what's on your mind. Let me know how I'm doing on this first podcast. What do you want to listen to? What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear me talk about? All right. So, yeah. Until tomorrow, when I drive to work tomorrow, Friday. This is a daily podcast. So, yeah. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.